a 10 out of 10 for me. Absolutely amazing film from the 20s. One of my favourite silent films for sure. Next we have, I think, the final steelbook that I have in the collection. Speaking of which, I have all the steelbooks from Master Cinema range except for Repo Man, which I really need to get, and if I want to be completist about it, the original Metropolis steelbook. This one actually has a bit of a glossy feel to it. It's not completely matte. It's a film directed by Sidney Lumet, and it's Al Pacino in Serpico. A lot of people hate this steelbook because of how bland it is. It's just literally a picture of him on a black steelbook. I quite like it. I don't think it's amazing or anything, but I quite like the way the picture looks in certain lights, you know. But otherwise, yeah, it's not like a standout steelbook for sure. The inside we have. Is there any inside artwork? Oh yeah, it's very red, a deep red. I don't know if that's significant to the film. I haven't seen it yet, of course. The Serpico logo is in red, so I'm not sure if that's the case. And I think this is about Al Pacino. He's a cop, and I think he bucks against the system, something like that. I think that Dan Alton has, not that he'll be watching this far, but I think that he has this and is a fan of the film, so I'm going to have to ask him what he thinks of it. And it might give me a kick up the arse to check it out. Oh, and the special features finally. We've got the J card here, as always. Let's hold it up there, there we go. Original mono and 5.1 surround soundtracks, 3 video documentaries, Serpico from Real to Real, as in film reel. Inside Serpico and Serpico favourite moments, a photo gallery with an audio commentary by director Sidney Lumet, original theatrical trailer and the booklet. This film came out in 1973 and is Region B locked. Just another small stack left to go. I'll quickly throw it up there for you. There we go. We're on the home stretch now. I think there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 more to go. We can do this. Spine number 80 is Nashville, which I was going to do a joint video with James Merchant about. I'm not sure if that's going to happen now because I'm taking so long to watch it. But this is kind of a film by Robert Altman. And it's supposed to be a very, very interesting, very long film that takes place over 5 days in Nashville, Tennessee, and it follows 24 characters struggling for fulfillment. I'll leave that in. Both personal and professional, amongst a backdrop of country and gospel musicians, outside the political campaigning and the peripheries of life in between, building from one encounter at a time to create a wide-ranging tapestry of rich drama and human comedy. But yeah, it's supposed to be very good, and I'm looking forward to it. I've probably said that like 100 times in this video so far. It features, of course, the 1080p presentation, feature-length audio commentary by the director, recorded in 2000, no doubt for the DVD. 2 archival video interviews with Robert Altman, a video interview with screenwriter Joan Tewksbury, video interview with actor Michael Murphy, original theatrical trailer, and of course all the good stuff, the booklet and everything. Region B, 1975 film. Got a nice artwork on the booklet. I love the disc artwork as well, and there's a really cool kind of inside art image. It's kind of a very 70s style, kind of almost like pop art kind of feel to it. And yeah, I love the disc artwork there. Blu-ray and DVD, or DVDs, I suppose. And next we have one that's another one I'm really interested to see. Again, this is almost an embarrassment of riches of films I've never seen that I'm really looking forward to. Spy number 83, directed by Hal Ashby, starring Ruth Gordon and Bud Cort, Harold and Maude. And this is about a kind of a young man who kind of enters into a relationship with a very old woman, which is supposed to be a very kind of tender and sweet film. So it sounds right up my alley. I'm very interested to see it. I believe this is a British film. Is it not? Maybe. I'm not too sure. An instant counterculture favourite on its release in 1971. Original monaural and remastered stereo soundtracks. Audio commentary by Hal Ashby, biographer Nick Dawson and producer Charles B. Mulville, and a new and exclusive video discussion of the film by critic David Carnes, and of course the booklet itself. I really like the booklet actually, and the disc art book for that matter. And on the inside we have a shot of the 2 main characters, Harold and Maude. Again, let me know if you've seen this film or any of the other ones I haven't seen yet, or even the ones I have talked about so far. This definitely is a British film, and it's by Lindsay Anderson. It's Spy number 84 in the collection, Region B locked, from 1969, and it stars Malcolm McDowell, most famously known from Clockwork Orange, and it is If. Now I know this is about students in a school, and some bad shit goes down. I think I heard James Merchant talking about this one as well. I love the grenade style artwork there with all the characters inside. I probably should have shown you close-up looks at all these covers, but again, I'm going through these, well, not quickly, but you know, it would be ridiculously long if I just kept on going. This one's going to be almost like 2 hours as it is. What do we have? We have an audio commentary with film critic and historian David Robinson and actor Malcolm McDowell as well. New video interviews with producer Michael Medwin, writers David Sherwin, and blah blah blah. Loads of different interviews with loads of different people involved in the film, basically. 3 short films by Lindsay Anderson, 3 installations from 1952, Thursday's Children from 1954, and Henry from 1955, 2 US trailers for the film, and the booklet as well. Oh, it says UK on the back, so I guess we can see a parallel mode. No, it's USA. Okay, my mistake. It just seemed like an inherently British kind of idea for a film, really. And here we have Malcolm McDowell featured on the front of the booklet there. Let's see if the inside artwork is worth showing. Oh, there isn't any. That's a shame. Or was it behind the disc? No. Okay. Well, there you go. Pretty bland, but can't win them all. And ooh, almost dropped it there. The next one is the only one in the Massive Cinema collection, I believe, that has a reversible cover, and it's Spine number 90, a Fritz Lang film, Spion. Now this is the alternate one, which I've flipped it around from. It's kind of like a grayscale, you know, black and white version of the cover, and I just prefer it. Even the spine is a lot darker, and it's obviously just a film about spies. It's kind of like a spy espionage thriller from Fritz Lang. I haven't watched this one yet, saving it again for my silent movie marathon. 2. Special features, optional alternate piano score by Neil Brand, only on the Blu-ray, original German intertitles, and a 71-minute documentary on the film, including the booklet. This came out in 1928, I believe, between Metropolis and Woman in the Moon. So yeah, I think this is the only Fritz Lang film I haven't seen in his filmography between 1922 and 1933, and once I have, I'll have seen like all his films in that 10-year period. Yeah, I think that's about it. Region B locked, and a look at the inside. I love this artwork as well. The Spion logo, Blu-ray and DVD. I love that the artwork is different on the Blu-ray and DVD. It's always good when there's like an extra touch with that. And if you have a quick look, I take the disc out here. This is the original front cover, which a lot of people weren't too pleased with when it was announced. If you see, it has that kind of much more brighter cover. And people thought it was a bit cheesy, and so I guess that's why they introduced the reversible idea, so that people could have a more black and white, you know, more toned down look for the front cover, and that's the one I went with. And here we have from 1929, yes, Frau im Mond, and this is Spine number 91, and this is my favourite Fritz Lang film. I love this cover. This cover is just fantastic. I just adore everything. The font, you know, just the rocket. It just looks awesome, and the film is fantastic. It's about a mission to the moon, and this film kind of predicted a lot of things right that would happen with space travel and space exploration, manned missions to the moon or into space in general. You know, from the rocket that's kind of has a booster on it and then splits off when they get into space. You know, that was kind of an idea that was never tested or proven and was shown in this film. The idea of the countdown, 10, 9, 8, you know, launch, that was invented with this film. You know, it was invented as a dramatic device for the film by Fritz Lang, and then was used, you know, obviously for rocket launches, and obviously they probably would have done that without this film, but this is the first time it was ever used. And so even zero gravity is portrayed for the first time ever in this film and predicted in this film. So I think Fritz Lang spoke to a scientist when he was making this, and that's why a lot of those kind of ideas are brought into the mix. The special features, we have original German intertitles, as always. The first scientific science fiction film, a 15-minute documentary by Gabriel Jacobs, which is good. It's not great though. I wish there was more for this film. I wish there was a commentary or an in-depth documentary on the making of, because I'd be fascinated to see behind the scenes stuff, or hear about behind the scenes stuff of how they made this. The first half of the film, it's very long. It's like almost 3 hours long. The first half of the film is literally just all character stuff, and it could seem very boring to some people, and to me it was as well. It's this weird thing where I was bored a little throughout the first half of the film, but once they got to the mission and the launch of the the rocket, I thought, okay, who's going to go on the mission? Who's going on the rocket? And when they announced or you know, it became clear on screen who was going to go. I was like, oh yeah, he's good. Oh yes, you know. And I was like, oh, I really enjoyed his character earlier on, and so it all paid off in the second half. And then the mission happens, and it's just an absolute fucking delight. I just love the whole idea, and the idea of how you can breathe on the dark side of the moon, and that they thought that there'd be gravity on the dark side of the moon, and that there'd be gold on the dark side of the moon and stuff, and it's just really cool. You know, you have all the stuff that's kind of grounded in reality that would go on later to be true, but also there's that fantastical element to it as well. But there's just loads of great stuff in this, and yeah, the second half of the film was just an absolute joy, and I'm sure when I watch it again I'll enjoy the first half even more, because it's all character building stuff, and I highly recommend it again to anyone who can deal with silent films that are longer than 2 hours or longer than an hour and a half. It's definitely worth your time. I just love it. Again, it's not Fritz Lang's best film by far. I would put Die Nibelungen, I'd put Metropolis, I'd put M, maybe even The Testament of Dr. Mabuse above it, but it's my favourite because it just speaks to me and things that I love, and yeah, great release. And you know, inside artwork is great, the booklet, you know, artwork is great. Definitely one of my favourite Blu-rays in my entire collection, and on the inside you have kind of a shot of the rocket, and you can see that me taking the discs off, but you know, just great. They had a huge set for the moon and stuff, and the characters were all great. Got this crazy old guy who kind of dreamed to go into the moon, and no one believed him. He gets to go along, and then there's kind of there's like a suit who comes along, played by Fritz Rasp, who's great as well. Just a brilliant cast and a brilliant film. Then we have another one that I'll be checking out, my Silent Movie Marathon 2, so I haven't seen it yet, and it's Spine Number 92. Robert Wiener's Das Cabinet des Dr. Caligari, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is a very highly acclaimed horror film from 1920, and this is kind of just an explosion of German expressions, and basically the style of the sets and the story and everything are very abstract and stuff, but heard nothing but great things, and I'm sure Ian has watched this and was a fan of it. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, not too sure. He's probably the only one watching this video this far. Yeah, another great Blu-ray. This is one of the recent ones. Obviously, now we're getting towards the end of the spine numbers and stuff. We have blah blah blah, all the usual stuff. New and exclusive feature-length audio commentary by film scholar and historian David Collette. New documentary, Caligari: The Birth of Horror in the First World War. You Must Become Caligari, a new and exclusive video essay on the feature by filmmaker and critic David Carnes. On the restoration, three short video pieces about the 2014 restoration. This is a brand new restoration from last year. A trailer for the release of the restoration, and Region B locked as well. I think the last few have all been, I think by this point they're all Region B for recent releases, and again, more great artwork on the booklet and the discs. And the inside doesn't have anything, does it? Okay, it's just like chapter listings and stuff like that, and there's something else behind the disc. I can't see what it is though. Oh, it's just like a kind of credits for like the special features and stuff, and all the kind of places where it was screened and things like that. Digitalization, blah blah blah. Oh well, no big deal. But yeah, another top release, and I hope a top film when I get around to seeing it for my Silent Movie Marathon 2. Youth of the Beast, I've seen this one, Spine Number 96. Bit of a mental film, I reviewed it in my Japanathon. This is my least favourite film I've seen in the collection so far, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. I'd say it's about 3.5 stars out of 5 kind of film. My right foot has gone completely to sleep and this feels really weird. You got this guy here, it's filmed by Seijun Suzuki, and the guy on the front, what's his name? Joe Shishido. He had cheek implants to make himself more attractive, which is really weird. He looks a bit like a chimp, not a chimp, a hamster in the film, and I guess the other films that he did after he had his cheek implants done. It's kind of a revenge film. It's like a murder kind of filled, vibrant, kind of violent, and I don't know, almost like a precursor to Tarantino in a way. Or I guess I could see Tarantino taking inspiration from a film like this. It has a video interview with critic and scholar Tony Raines, once again, of course, for a Japanese film. An original theatrical trailer. It's from 1963, and it features the Blu-ray and DVD. We got the booklet there, the DVD there. Not sure about the inside artwork. Do we have some? Yeah, but nothing too eventful, and it's quite a dark blue but you can see it more on the camera than you can in real life. I did enjoy it a lot though. I'm sure I'll check it out again. It's just it wasn't like a classic or anything like that. But it's good to see they release films like that. This is another one for the Silent Movie Marathon 2. I'm giving it all away now for the films I'll be watching for that. Filmed by G.W. Pabst. It is starring Louise Brooks, Spy Number 97, Diary of a Lost Girl. I know that Fritz Rasp is also in this. He was in a few Fritz Lang films. 1929 this is from. Features a new video essay, Naked on My Goat, by filmmaker and critic David Carnes, and the booklet. So yeah, the degenerate villain of Fritz Lang classics such as Metropolis and Frau in Mond, Woman in the Moon. So yeah, he's in that. But yeah, Louise Brooks plays Thymian Henning, an unprepossessing young woman seduced by an unscrupulous and mercenary character employed at her father's pharmacy. So yeah, it's supposed to be a really good silent film, like one of the classics. And okay, the booklet has a picture of Louise Brooks, the actress from the film, her last residence. Yeah, her last residence in Rochester, New York, which is interesting. But yeah, okay. Interesting choice for the booklet cover. There you go. There's her on the disc there, and then the that's the DVD, I think. Yeah, this is the Blu-ray. So there you go. Not much more to say about that one. And we have 3 left. We have another one that's going to be in the Silent Marathon. Another one, and okay, the last one isn't. So this is Spy Number 98, The Thief of Baghdad. This one is directed by, I'm not quite sure, Raoul Walsh. Douglas Fairbanks production. I believe Douglas Fairbanks is the lead actor in this. Let's check it out. It's his pet project coming off the heels of previous costume successes, The Three Musketeers, The Mark of Zorro, and Robin Hood. From 1924, a big, an Arabian Nights fantasy. Cannot wait to see this one as well. Looks like a lot of fun, looks like a great, just fun fantasy basically. And the special features, we have choice of 5.1 or stereo audio, features in the commentary by Fairbanks biographer Jeffrey Vance. Fairbanks in Fantasy is a 17-minute featurette including rare behind-the-scenes photography, and the booklet as well. So again, it's kind of just like a proper adventure film, a lot of kind of fun basically. I've seen some clips from it in the, is it Mark Cousins, The Story of Film, An Odyssey or whatever it's called, that 15-hour documentary about the history of movies. And then this one, D.W. Griffith's Intolerance, which is Spy Number, 99. Yeah, this one is about, it says on the front actually, love struggle throughout the ages. It's basically, I think, dealing with pretty simple themes, but kind of taking them through different periods of time. Let's just have a look at the back now. We're near the end of this video, so I can slow down a second. Powerful examination of intolerance, just literally intolerance, as it has persisted throughout civilization, set across 4 parallel storylines that span 2,500 years. So I'm assuming it goes back to, like, you know, well, actually it says here, I'll just read it out. Depicting nothing less than the fall of Babylon, the Judean story which revolves around the crucifixion of Christ, the French story which presents the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre in all its horror, a modern American story of class struggle, crime, and the plight of life in the early 20th century set within urban slums and the prison system. So, you know, early 1910s, which would be present day for when this film was made, back to, you know, like 100 years earlier and then thousands of years earlier. So very interesting idea and concept, and I think Buster Keaton kind of spoofed that in 3 Ages, which is a pretty good silent film. But this one, yeah, 1916 this came out in, and what stuns me about this, it's probably on the, yeah, it's on the inside, I'll show you in a minute. The sets on this film were incredible. D.W. Griffiths was an American director, so it's an American film, and they just had this huge set for, I guess, one of the earlier periods in the film, like the Roman or the Babylon period, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not too hot on history and stuff, but the set just looked unbelievable, like bigger than anything I've ever seen in any film. Special feature wise, we have Carl Davis's orchestral score in stereo and 5.1, Griffith's companion feature films, The Fall of Babylon and The Mother and the Law, expanding upon these 2 storylines from Intolerance, presented in high definition with new stereo scores. So I don't know if that's like taking what's in this film and splitting it into 2 films and re-editing it, or whether there's new footage. I'll have to look that one up. but it's great that it's included as well. A video interview with preservationist and historian Kevin Brownlow, and this is almost 3 hours long. Again, which is very ambitious for a 1916 film. So we've got the Blu-ray inside there. There's actually 2 Blu-rays, I think. The film on one and the supplements on the other. So I guess the two other feature films are on this one. I'll have to find out if just exactly if it's just re-edits or whether there's new stuff there. Right, let's take the booklet out and just show you this set, which just look at that. You can't even really see it. It's just so huge. It's beyond comprehension, really. In an ideal world, I'd edit like pictures into this video and you could see it in full, but nothing does it justice, and I can't wait to see it on screen when I finally check it out. And we now have one left. It's spine number 106. Yes, we're jumping over now. We passed the 100 spine mark, and it is the greatest cinema adaptation of Victor Hugo's timeless epic from a new 4K restoration. A film by Raymond Bernard, based on the novel by Victor Hugo, Les Miserables. Yeah, this is supposed to be one of the best versions of the story that's been put to celluloid as it was, and this is from 1934, and it's a French film, and it is 288 minutes long, which is almost 5 hours long, which is ridiculous. And it's, of course, a special 2-disc Blu-ray edition, so it has the film over 2 Blu-ray discs. It's complete. It's the new presentation of the film in its new complete length from a new 4K digital restoration. Victor Hugo in cinema. Claudine Cohen discusses Bernard's Les Miserables, its production, and other adaptations of the novel. Raymond Bernard, a 1979 interview with filmmaker Roger Icklef. Video discussion with French cinema expert Raymond Chirat. Screen tests of auditions for the role of Gavroche. Deleted scenes, archival newsreels, theatrical trailer, and The Vagabond, Albert Capellani's 1905 short film. And yeah, region locked, 28-page booklet, so there we go. Just for disc ground, so you get a good look at that, and this booklet has 3 of the original posters. Does it have any inside artwork? Yes, it does. There we go. So this is going to be one that I'm going to have to want to watch all in one go. So to find 5 hours to do that is going to be very tough indeed, but I will one day. And there we go. That is my massive cinema collection circa June 2015. I've been trying to collect all these for about 2 years, I think. So let's just do a count now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. John, I'm going to go up to the shelf and do it because I put some of them on the shelf now since I turned the camera off. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, I have 57 massive cinema Blu-rays, and that's counting the Metropolis. So, and that's, both of them are spine number 16. So I have 56 of the spine numbers, which is more than half of the 100 that was kind of there about, I don't know, 6 months ago. So I'd say I might roughly have half the collection now, which is incredible. I'm halfway there. And whenever I do get all of them and make a video about them all, it will not be this long, I can guarantee you that. But yeah, this is the first part of my super duper in-depth complete Blu-ray overview collection. The rest of them will be a lot shorter than this because, well, they'll still be pretty fucking long, but this one was so long because we were talking about 56 Blu-rays that I all had something to say. Oh, well, a lot of them I didn't have anything to say about, but some I really did have something to say about, so yeah, other ones will be a lot quicker and I'll try and breeze through them, but if you like the long in-depth Blu-ray videos, then this one's for you. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters on the higher tier, Jody Wood, Ryan Chataway, Jonas Olson, and Bezius. Oh, and also Scott Cineran. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you with the next part of this series, which won't be for a while because I'm going away for a bit, but I hope you enjoyed this one. It'll tide you over until July when the series will continue. See you then.